Hello, this is Wicked Shrapnel, and today I'm going to be comparing Scotch and Bourbon. Both are whiskeys that are made in different locations using different processes. Scotch is from Scotland, and Bourbon is usually from Kentucky. Doesn't have to be, but it usually is. And I'm just gonna see which is better. Most people are either a bourbon person or a Scotch person, so I guess it's personal preference. And I got recommendations on what to try. These are, you know, better than average, but there's not like top of the line. This is a Highland single malt Scotch whiskey, Glenmorangie, the original. So this goes for about 40 bucks a bottle, and it is a 10-year Scotch, 10 years old. And the bourbon, it's Kentucky straight bourbon, and it is a 10-year-old as well. And this goes for about 30 bucks a bottle. So, you know, these are gonna be a little bit better than like some blended, well, that again is up for debate. Some people actually like the blended Scotch because it like smooths it out a little bit, where a single malt is usually from like the same distillery. I do not claim to be an expert on whiskey's making process. It's very complex. But I've just read into some of them, and that's some of the basic things that I've read. So I'm not sure which one to try first. Let me open them both up. Pop the top, let them breathe a little bit. I even watched some videos on people doing like taste tests of different whiskey, so I'm gonna do what they're doing and pretend like I know what I'm doing. Is that a cat meowing? What? You want some Scotch? Alright, we'll pour some in the glass. This is my ghost glass. Just let it breathe there a little bit. Should do a blind. It's kind of hard for me to do a blind test since I can see it. Let's look at the coloration. The bourbon is a little bit darker, which I'm not sure if that's actually from the sitting in the barrel, or some bourbons add color to it just to make it look like it's been in the barrel for longer. It doesn't say it has. So it could be. But the bourbon's a little darker. Let me do a little sniff test. I have no idea, like, when I saw someone reviewing it, they're like, yeah, overtones of blah 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 and blah 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 blah. It just smells like alcohol to me. You smell this one. That one smells a little bit different. I have no idea what those smells are. It smells different. So I hope that helped you out in this review. Oh my God, Wicked Shrapnel, you are the worst. Like, I think you're supposed to say, earthy overtones with a hint of, oh, what is that? Is that honeydew with earth peat moss? Like, I've never smelled any of that stuff. And some vanilla overtones. Oh yes. All right. Let me try. I'm gonna try the Scotch first. Here we go. It's not too bad. It's pretty smooth. Not like an initial ah type of reaction, which is what I have when I drink like Jack Daniels. It's like ah. This one's just kind of like ah, a little smoother, you know. It don't bite you as much. Let me check out the alcohol percentage on these. So the Scotch is 43% alcohol by volume, and the bourbon is 45%. So 2% stronger here on the bourbon. Now I will clean my palate with, this is a vintage year 2014 Smart Water that I'm going to open now. So that I don't smell anything. Cleanse the palate. All right. Now let's try the Eagle Rare Kentucky bourbon. America! None of that Scottish crap. All right, let's see how this is. That one's pretty smooth too. It does have a little bit more bite than the Scotch. The Scotch was really smooth. And this one has a little bit more of a lingering aftertaste. It seemed like it coated my tongue a little bit more than the Scotch did. If that's a quality that you look for in alcohols. But they're both good. I'm gonna have a hard time picking a winner here. And both of these taste better than probably any other Scotch or bourbon that I've ever had. I think I've had like Dewar's, which is a blended Scotch, which I was not a huge fan of. I think I've tried Jameson before too. I'm not a huge like whiskey drinker, so this is like a non-whiskey drinker's opinion of whiskey. All right, tastes better with Coke. Now let me try another little sip of the Scotch. I am definitely not as good at describing what these flavors are. They definitely taste different. I guess this one's a little bit more like floral, if that describes a taste. Where this one's a little bit more like oaky. Definitely more bite on the bourbon. And I have heard that you add a little bit of water to it, that it's supposed to bring out some of the aromas. Let's see if that's true. It does smell a little different. Oh, I forgot to spin it around on my glass. It does bring out some more flavors. Like when it's straight, it's almost, there's the shock value. It shocks your taste buds where you don't taste it as much. Cut it with a little bit of water, helps remove some of that burning the taste buds with alcohol. It tastes a little better. Well, they're both pretty smooth. I can see where this is like a personal preference type thing. And think my personal preference is still going to be beer. Maybe try it on the rocks. But really the only reason I drink straight up whiskey is just you want to get a buzz really fast. I don't think I've ever really drank it just because I really like the taste. And I guess it is an acquired taste. But I can't say that I really love either one of these, although I can say that both of these are less shocking to the system than drinking like some Jack Daniels. That stuff, I drank like a half a bottle of Jack Daniels when I was in high school. Like, felt like I was gonna die, and I can't handle Jack Daniels anymore. That's got just a weird twang to it. It's not super strong like alcohol-wise. I think like floral is really the only word that I can think that describes it. What's it say? Let me see how they describe it. Oh, here's what it says on the label. Glenmorangie is renowned the world over for its elegance and floral spirit. Wow, maybe I am a great taste tester. A single malt whiskey of exquisite finesse and alluring complexity. Truly original since 1843. So I guess that's what they're going for, floral. Has flavors of honeyed sweetness fused with notes of citrus, vanilla, and almond. I don't really taste citrus, vanilla, or almond at all, making it delicate, alluring, and very complex. I think the floral thing is what stands out to me. Now that I know how they describe it, let me see if I taste any citrus, vanilla, and almonds. Really, floral. Floral is the best word for that. Let me go back to the bourbon. So if you're into drinking flowers, I would go with that one. And that one's just more like smoky wood caramel. Not quite sweet caramel. Just kind of the like if you just ate some caramel, how you have your spit gets a little bit more thick and coated in your mouth. Kind of like an aftertaste of it. Definitely more woodsy, oaky type flavor. So let me see how they describe it, because I haven't read these descriptions. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, the cornerstones of birth of a nation, epitomized by the American bald eagle. Man, this one is uplifting me as an American. That nation has come to represent the freedom, spirit, and independence of the individual, giving the world products and innovations that are uniquely its own. One such innovation was Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Early Kentucky settlers. All right, I don't need a whole history lesson. Let me see what you're going for with the flavor here. All right, here goes. Eagle Rare 10-year-old Kentucky Straight Bourbon has a sweet, oaky nose. So I said oaky, but not oaky nose. I don't even know what that means. And full, complex body, reminiscent of a fine port wine. This rare whiskey is best served neat or over ice. Of course, feel free to drink Eagle Rare in such classic cocktails as a Manhattan or a whiskey sour. All right, so oaky is what they were going for as well. I guess I did pick out the flavors and I swear to you, I did not read the descriptions on the bottles. So I actually impressed myself that I picked the exact words that they were going for as far as flavor goes. But both of these, I mean, they're both smooth. They'll probably get you pretty buzzing. But like oak is not really a flavor that I desire to eat. And neither are flowers. So I would say both of these I probably won't buy again. I like sweeter things. Like I did try brandy before, which is made from wine. It's supposed to be sweeter, but it's not really the kind of thing that I'm going for either. My friend used to make, or my friend's dad actually, made some peach brandy that was really strong alcohol-wise, but you would take it, taste it, and it'd be like, but then the aftertaste was like nice, sweet, fruity peaches in your mouth. And I would much rather have like the aftertaste of peaches than flowers or oak. So that's my personal preference. I guess I like it a little bit more fruity. And that's my personal preference. But at least I tried them out. Let me know if you're like a whiskey man or a Scotch man, what your personal preference is, or if you know of any other liquors that might be like homemade peach brandy. I'm sure they sell peach brandy in the store. I don't think it'd be quite as good as that homemade stuff that he made though. But yeah, I tried them out. I'm not a super big fan. I'm sorry to disappoint any of you whiskey drinkers out there. Whiskey, I guess, just isn't my thing. Or maybe there's another whiskey out there that's different. I've heard of wheat whiskeys, and I like wheat beers. So maybe I could try like a wheat bourbon. Maybe that's more of my liking. I like sweeter. Sweeter whiskey would be what I'm going for. All right, well, hope you enjoyed the video, and I guess I'll finish these off. Oaky. Florally. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Take it easy.